sharks.
You don't have to turbo, but you can't shark here.
I
What?
know.
Turbo shark. You don't have to.
Oh, and welcome to another episode of Dos and a Half Cincos.
Oh, I
It's
didn't see you there.
episode number 54. This week we cover Mystery Science Theater 3000, the movie, as well as Street Shark Season 3, Episode 18, Turbo Shark. But before we get into that, as always, I'm your host, David.
I'm Stuart.
And I'm Ben.
Oh.
Ooh.
Whoa, what's
What's
with the ew,
what's
guys?
got you down, Ben?
What's going on?
Nothing.
You want to talk about it?
Not really. I mean, not with you anyways. You're not my dad.
Well,
I mean,
that's
actually.
not what this DNA test says.
Oh no, Mari, don't tell me.
Thomas Jefferson.
What are we talking about?
Stu, were you? I know that we had reviewed this last week. Because it was Mamba Day. Did you end up copying anything from Mamba
I
Day?
didn't get any. I didn't get shit.
What about you, Ben?
Not for lack of trying, though.
I got the Simpsons shoes, but I didn't get any Mamba related shit.
So, I found out that I have a group of friends that I used to work with. He's part of this Discord group that does a lot of like flipping and trading for shoes and stuff. And he posted this egregious picture of literally his entire floor is covered in Kobe jerseys.
Wow.
I was like, can we get the address to this guy and then beat him to the ground? Like, dude, how many people did you take that opportunity away from?
Wait,
just for you to be able to make a buck?
One?
Huh?
The one they just released? The city
Yes,
edition?
the city. Yeah,
Oh
the
my
8 in
God,
the front,
this guy
the
needs to be
24 in the back.
Fucking murdered.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, what? I understand. Like, okay, if you bought an extra one, fine, you have to feed your family, but you had enough money to be able to buy, I think, I didn't sit and count, but it's at least more than like 30 or 40 of them.
Wow.
And it's like an entire hallway is just blanketed in Kobe jerseys. And it's not like he like laid them out. They're still in the packaging, so they're still folded in half.
Hey,
and
whoever,
what?
if that person ever listens to this, eat shit and die.
I think that's pretty accurate. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, like you're trying to make a quick buck on somebody else who's clearly, obviously, you're trying to make a quick buck off of somebody like Stu, who's a huge Kobe fan.
Yeah.
I am too, but you know,
This isn't
who
just
wants to
like
be able to-
fucking some pair of Yeezys or fucking who gives a shit. This is
Mhm.
this is bigger than that.
Yeah.
That's
And you're
true.
being a fucking asshole.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that. And that's the downer for this week.
You know this
Let's-
person, or your coworker knows this person?
My coworker knows somebody who's in that Discord group
Wow.
that happens to be like they trade a lot of like stuff like Supreme gear.
I hope they end up like a
limited edition
person
shoes.
who like hoarded toilet paper or paper towels, but then ended up like nobody bought them from them. So then they just end up with
Honestly, to kind of stick it to these guys, what they should do is they should make this thing not limited edition.
they should now they should come out and be like, oh yeah,
just-
by the way, this is gonna be like a standard Lakers jersey now.
Correct. Yeah, keep printing them, and then
Yeah.
so that way that person's literally stuck with it and just like I can't return it. No returns.
Can we start
Thank you for donating.
Can we start a what do they call
Petition?
it? Petition for the Lakers to make the city edition a standard jersey, to completely annihilate these types of people from
Oh man, can you imagine if they just did that every year, every August 24th? Wait, no, they don't even play that far deep into the
unless the seasons get switched up because of all the
again.
COVID stuff.
Unless they release COVID 21. That's the only way. By the way, the NBA season's getting extended all the way into August. Or they should like play like some type of like charity game or something like that, and all the proceeds, and then you print as many jerseys. Like literally, all they had to do was take pre-orders and just say, "Hey, this is how many jerseys we're gonna end up printing. Everybody gets one."
Okay, so I'm on change.org looking for the Lakers topics. Maybe we need to be the first one to start. Maybe we need to get this kick started here.
All right, Stu. You know what? That's what we're gonna do on this particular podcast, Stu. I'm gonna have you go ahead and you sign it up. You send us the link. We'll post it in the YouTube channel in the description. Make sure to sign this because I feel like Stu's probably not the only one who missed out.
Yeah.
I know at least 3 other people.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing if I missed out and it's like, okay, whatever. But then to have like one single person obtain an ungodly
egregious amount.
Yeah.
I would send you the picture, but I don't want you to throw up in the middle of our podcast, so I'll wait till afterwards. But outside of our movie of the week and Street Sharks, Stu, what else have you seen actually?
So I watched on a whim. I finally watched the latest installment of Mission Impossible, the Fallout one. I just happened to see it. It was like I didn't really know what to do with myself one night, and I was like, oh, this is a thing I haven't seen, so I watched it. It's fine. It's whatever. It's just another Mission Impossible movie. So other than that, though, shit. I feel like I'm starting to pick up Dark again. This time I'm watching it with subtitles on, so we'll see how it goes.
Has that improved the experience at all?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've only gotten like 2 episodes further into the series with this on, so I'm still kind of waiting for stuff to like hit me, like whoa, like for that to happen in the show, but it hasn't happened yet.
Ben, you said you finished that show, right?
I did, yes.
For someone who has seen it and knowing how far Stu has gone twice, before, how far does that moment how long did that moment take for you? 3, 4, 5 episodes?
I would say it took maybe like halfway through the first season, but I will say that after that it kind of snowballs, I would say, and just information just kind of tacks on to other pieces of information, and then it's just like, oh, and you start to kind of realize the bigger picture of what this whole show is about. And it's just like, oh. So, but at the same time, I don't know. Like, I have heard some people who say that the payoff isn't worth it. So,
man,
your mileage may vary.
Come on. Well, here's the thing is, Stu, we've already established on this podcast probably more than at least 2 handfuls of times that unless you finish it, you can't bitch and complain about it.
Well, I don't really feel like I've been bitching and complaining about it, so.
No. I'm just saying, like, based on Ben's, just foreshadowing how disappointing some people have been about it. So
Well, I feel like I might be on the precipice of the snowball, so we'll see.
I'm so close. Oh, I'm so close.
I can feel it. Okay.
I'm so close, guys. Oh.
I'm gonna pre.
What about you, Ben? Seen anything else?
Yeah, I actually watched. What was that movie? I watched Weird Science. Have you guys watched? No.
Weird Science?
Yeah, Weird Science.
Is that the one about the 2 kids who end up creating the girlfriend?
Yeah, that'd be the movie. Yep, that's it. Have you guys watched it? No.
Thoughts?
I haven't seen it in like forever.
I know. I don't remember enough outside of the fact.
Other than the premise, the general premise.
Okay, well, man, I don't think this movie aged well at all. I mean, this is my first time watching it, and I'm just like, oh boy, oh man.
A lot of racial slurs that are outdated or something.
Kinda. I mean,
how often was the word honky used?
But the fact that I have to think about this.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's already moved past the two hands. He's now counting toes.
It's I don't know. There was just a lot of instances where it's just like, oh boy, man, like there would have been so many posts about this or something, and like a lot of it, I don't know. It just I mean, trying to look at it in the lens of 1985 and trying to appreciate it then is just like, I don't really know what's going for here. It's just like, yeah, it's a girl and they made her. And there's Robert Downey Jr. And yep, there's some boobs. That's all I got from it. I know it was like really
what else is
popular.
there to? But what else is there to get?
I don't know. It was just it was
Okay,
a comedy.
so-
And
I guess the question now gets begged is why? Why? What made you decide to watch that now?
my friend wanted to see it, and I'm like, okay, let's give it a watch. And yeah, that was about it. I don't know why we watched it, and I was really happy with Good Burger. Was not so happy with this movie.
So, but Good Burger is not from the 1980s.
It isn't, but I had a much better time with Good Burger. I love
yeah,
Good Burger now.
It's good
Good burger's a good time.
burger. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a dude. She's a dude.
He's a dude.
We're all
She's a
dudes.
dude.
Hey.
And we're all
So
dudes.
Ben, it seems like there's been a lot of you've been going down this like nostalgic route of movies that you didn't see when you were growing up.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So what's next on this list for you?
I'm not too sure. It is my turn to pick the movie, and honestly, I think I was gonna pick Bill and Ted because that just came out, and that kind of fits along the nostalgia journey that we're going on. But also, it's a brand new movie, so who knows? Like,
Okay.
I'm pretty excited to see it, honestly.
Ben's gonna be pulling a Wicked City on us.
It's not going to be
Where-
anything like Wicked City.
In the sense that none of us have seen it, and even though this is supposed to be a thing where we review movies we know and love. So
Yeah, Ben,
You're gonna
stop
pull it-
ruining this
you're
thing
gonna
for
pull
all
it,
the rest
Stu.
of us.
What
Yeah.
would I do? What
Don't
I
ruin
do? What I do?
This has been following the rules, except for you, Ben.
What I
Picking
do?
movies we've all seen and we know and love.
except for me that one time.
Ben, how could you influence Stu and say that that was a good movie to pick?
Because
Yeah.
I didn't know any better.
I was gonna pick Ninja Scroll, and then somewhere in the back of my mind, Ben's like, "Oh, Ninja Scroll's
As well.
for normies."
Yeah, I definitely got pushed out of that. I could tell because that was 2 episodes ago. I was editing for Pokemon and I said Spirit Away, and then I got chastised
exactly.
for not picking Spirit Away.
See, it's really Ben's fault.
I
Wait,
know.
what happened to whoa, 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 whoa,
No, it's
whoa,
settled.
whoa,
It's settled.
whoa.
Tentacles.
2-1.
Ben's fault. Hashtag Ben's fault.
2-1.
Actually, I think that's going to be the title of this episode. So
Ben's
let's just
fault.
go ahead and move on. We're going to just go ahead and shark dive into Season 3, Episode 18, Turbo Shark. Now tell me if you've heard this one before. Jab is driving a race car that cannot go under 65 miles an hour, or it's going to release a bomb that will gene slam the entire race, the entire city.
I mean, we've heard that part before in like every other episode. But yeah, I feel like this episode was right up Ben's alley.
It had
For
everything I
reasons-
liked.
Yeah, because all that was missing was I think this one was inspired by Redline, right? So Ben, what was your synopsis for Redline again?
Fuck, I literally just deleted it.
Back to the action.
You go back for some full penetration. Smells crime. Busting
penetration.
head. Back to the lab
Full
for some full penetration.
Uh,
This episode was just missing Keanu Reeves, I think, is what you're trying to say.
and
yes,
Sandra
that is-
Bullock.
that is correct.
That's true, Sandra Bullock.
So you guys do recognize the reference. And to answer the question,
Yeah,
Speed
it
did come
went over
before
like a
this episode.
fucking lead balloon. Like the only thing they changed was like the speed that you can't drop under.
75 miles an hour.
Stay above 65.
I'm like, what? Yeah, but they're also it was just him, right? If he died, that
That's
would have
true.
been
It'd
it.
just be Jab.
Mm-hmm. So I think we have seen the moment when they started really running out of money because we're episode 18. There are 27 total episodes in this season. So I think when they start stealing 2-year-old material, this episode came out in 1996. The movie of reference, if you haven't figured it out, is Speed. Came out in 1994.
If you're a
So
fucking Zoomer, you haven't, don't know fucking uncultured fucking what's that word, troglodyte or whatever.
Hey
so
guys,
Ben will be reviewing Speed in his nostalgic tour.
wait guys,
Um,
guys, I have a confession.
he's never seen Speed. Can we kick him
Okay,
off now?
you're so predictable now, Ben.
I seen Cruise Control.
What? No, shut up.
Not the same.
Why would anyone buy like a 6 by 12 poster, and that's not inches, that's feet,
Plus, that couldn't
of
stop.
a
It
poster of a
wasn't 6 by
movie?
12. It was 24 by 36.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Wow, that's really?
It was yeah, yeah. It was for The Simpsons. Come on,
that
man.
is a wall in and of itself. It doesn't need a frame because you just top from the top to the bottom.
Yeah, good one, Ben. I almost believed it. Not.
Actually, he bought multiple ones of it and he just used it as wallpaper.
I gotta say this though, was I the only one who was ultra disappointed that when I showed up to the theater for Speed 2 as a kid, I was like, all right, Keanu Reeves back to
Back at
saving
it again.
the bus or whatever we're on this time. And they didn't even cast him. I don't know if he turned it down or they just fucking or what, but
No, they're like, that premise has been done by the Street Sharks. It's clearly dead.
yeah, it's clearly played. So
Oh yeah,
I don't know who the guy they cast instead was, but it wasn't Keanu
Jason
Reeves.
Patrick.
Yeah, who the fuck is that?
Who?
Exactly. They're like, clearly the star of the show is Sandra Bullock, so we're going to bring her back, and
It was
that
I was
that was it.
super disappointed. This is back in the days where like I didn't know there was no like pre like find out who's in the movie or what's going on. It was just like Speed 2. All right, I loved Speed 1. Let's go. And then disappointment.
Oh man, dude, we should totally have come up with a theory that Street Sharks actually derailed Speed 2 and the fact that Keanu Reeves wanted to do it, but Vin Diesel was involved in Street Sharks, something along those lines.
That sounds like a lot of effort. Wow, David's
You got
dying.
the Rona again.
I mean that.
Got the Ronas.
Well, that's what you call karma.
Holy fuck! It actually sounds like he's dying again.
What I call
No, I
COVID.
just
That's what I call
the water
COVID.
went down the wrong hole. All right. Speaking of older things, I did start taking a look, watching from the very beginning. It's Always Sunny because of I started recognizing some of the references that you were making, like on our Twitch channel.
Yeah, that's
Three guys.
I thought that you wrote that, so
I didn't write that. That was Ben.
which we should probably change at some point because
Nothing sexual.
we might get in trouble.
No, we can't because it's nothing sexual.
No, but it's like fucking plagiarism.
What? We're gonna get hit with a
If we
plagiarizing
submitted
strike?
that as a paper to turnitin.com, it would light up like a Christmas
Oh yeah,
tree.
no, it would probably not even accept it right away. It would just be,
Well-
oh, what is that? And then shut down the entire
And it
site.
would
They're
say,
like,
"Oh,
I
that's
never
Well, tell
great.
the professor
Guess-
we turned it in first.
How about this reference? The gang gets a F. So that's what would happen.
Oh man. Yeah, but I've been watching It's Always Sunny.
Nice.
And so that's my nostalgic tour since I've been working from home. That's what I've been doing on my lunch is eating lunch and also watching It's Always Sunny. So
Wait, were you working from home at your last job too, or did you start working from home now at your new job?
I started working from home 3 weeks ago when I started my new job.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, so Yeah, there's different challenges to that. I'm just like looking around and wondering why I don't take care of more chores. So I started throwing the trash out and washing clothes and doing
So
stuff.
so you could technically be streaming on Mondays, but now you don't because even though you could, so
I could, but I actually work.
there'd be evidence of you not working.
That is correct, and we definitely don't want that.
But this is also evidence that you're not working.
No, I'm saying I'm doing it in between phone calls. Like if I were to stream, that would mean I would have to literally stop whatever I'm doing for
What if you
2 hours.
stream your work related stuff?
No,
Yeah.
you don't want that. That's
So half the screen would be red alert, and the other half would be Excel spreadsheets or some shit.
Yeah, whatever the fuck you do. Just
all right. We're gonna pivot the Soviets again. Dang it. Um, but yeah. Any other thoughts on this episode of Street Sharks, guys? I didn't think so. We have no
no.
montage yet again,
Nope.
and if you haven't figured it out, it was the race car was a diversion to Gene Slam another place. I don't even know at this point. Like we're so close. I just want
You
this.
just gotta. Are we in single digits now as far as how many remaining episodes?
Yes, we just hit 9.
All
9
right,
left.
we're
9,
gonna make it.
9.
Yep, we are under the double digit number. So
We're gonna make it,
countdown
guys.
for Shark
Stick,
Town.
stick with us.
Yep, we're almost done, and after that, we will no longer be doing any more Street Sharks or those nests because we don't know what to do with that. All right, let's go ahead and jump over to our box office rundown. It's actually kind of interesting. Box Office Mojo, which is where we've been getting a lot of our box office rundowns from, finally added the subtext to all of the weekend numbers starting in March to add COVID-19 pandemic.
What does
In
that mean?
addition, this past weekend, we finally hit 8 digits. So last week we had $6 million was the total box office in the US. This week it's doubled that. We're at $12.4 million. With the New Mutants coming at number 1 with 7 million. Number 2 is Unhinged, which was number 1 last week with 2.6. Bill and Ted Face the Music, 1.1 million. Number 4 is The Personal History of David Copperfield, 475,000. And number 5, which was number 3 last week, is Words on Bathroom Walls for 441,000. So the thing of note is that there are 2,412 active theaters that were showing the New Mutants. Ben, do you know anything about this particular movie?
Oh man, this movie has been in the works for so fucking long. Like I think the first trailer that came out was in 2016 or 2017, one of the two.
Really?
And yeah, this movie went through the ringer. It kept getting hit by a curse or something. Like someone did something. It just kept getting pushed back and back and back and back, and finally, it secured a release date for 2019, I think, or no, not 2019, 2020, and the pandemic hit, and it was just another thing on top of this shit cake, and no, pretty much everyone thought that it was never going to see the light of day. One of the main actresses on the movie, Macy Williams of Game of Thrones fame, was in an interview for that movie. Or no, it wasn't even for that movie. I think it was for Game of Thrones. And they were asking her, "Oh, like, when do you think New Mutants is coming out?" And she says, "Hell if I know." like, like it was under a lot of shit, and it finally came out. I am really surprised that something else didn't come along and just like barrel this down the road of 2020, but it actually fucking released. And it's really weird hearing about this because I feel like this movie had a lot of big stars in it. Macy Williams, the guy from Stranger Things, Anna Joy Taylor was also in it. And I feel like their careers have kind of verged off in completely different directions. And, they are a lot bigger than what this movie was originally about. So As far as the movie goes, though, I'm not really sure like how well it did or how good it is. So, David, do you have any idea of what that is like?
All I know is in terms of overall dollars, it's obviously it's number one. Opened up at number one with 7 million. I don't know in terms of pandemic numbers. I think that's a home run.
Oh, okay.
But in terms of critics, it's receiving very mixed reviews. It's roughly about a 6 out of 10 is if we were to convert all the scores all together. Metacritic has it around 46. Um, I didn't even know that this movie had that long of a history about it, so that's actually somewhat surprising
Okay.
that
Well,
you
okay.
had so much information about it already.
Yeah, no, there's here's one of the big things that kind of, this that kind of ages this movie or kind of gives it a timestamp. This movie was coming out when when Fox was still a thing. And one of the big
Oh,
You
hurdles,
mean before Disney bought them?
yeah, so that was one of the big hurdles that
Wow.
hit. It didn't get released because Disney bought them and they're like, wait, hold on, don't release this. We need to reevaluate this.
Hang on, this shit sucks.
No,
that was
okay, that
around
was
the Dark
another thing.
Phoenix time, right?
Yeah, that was around Dark Phoenix time, and that was another thing. So when Fox still had control over this movie, there were rumors going around that Fox absolutely hated the first cut of this movie, and they wanted them to reshoot the whole thing. And that
Oh,
was why,
nice.
yeah, that's why they actually paused the first time, and they're like, "All right, reshoot it." They never got around to it because Disney bought them out. So this is the
And we're
first
not
cut.
funding, yeah, we're not funding your disaster. We
Yep.
saw what you did with Dark Phoenix, actually, which is funny because both of them had Game of Thrones stars in them.
Oh,
Oh,
you're right. Oh, never
Oh,
thought
Curse
about
of Game of Thrones.
that.
oh yeah. That means that you guys, your TV series is done. Your career is done. We don't want to
Oh,
see you in
That
anything
tends to
else.
happen a lot, I think.
oh.
I mean, we haven't seen anything from out of Amelia Clark since,
Or
or
Kit Harrington, or
yep.
Shit,
or
man, none of them
A-
really.
Aaron Paul tried to. He had a couple things, but then nothing.
Well, Aaron Paul's still doing some shit. He's in Westworld, right? Right?
But that's just another TV show.
Yeah.
I think it depends, right? I feel like these HBO TV shows, I think that maybe they're just resting on their laurels and they kind of mail it in. They put them, they just plug them in, and it's just not working.
Oh, maybe because
Um, yeah, go
audiences
ahead.
are too attached to they someone in the studio is like, no, everyone's gonna see fucking
Sansa,
yeah the whole time.
and I forgot her other on Arya. When did she get mutant powers? When do they both be able to do any of that stuff? I'm sure
Uh,
that there's that weird moment that we all have whenever we see a character that we know is very tied to a certain person. Like for example, if anybody ever plays somebody who's not Robert Downey Jr. plays Iron Man, I'm sure it's probably going to be kind of weird. Same thing for Chris Evans with Captain America, right?
Come on, David, sound it out.
Sorry, I'm sorry. The actually it was actually going towards a segue. This week, speaking of people who um, symbolize a specific character or franchise. This past weekend, we did lose Chadwick Boseman, who was the who
Black
played
Panther.
Black Panther. Sorry,
There you
Stu. And it's definitely caused a lot of ripples throughout Hollywood. I mean, he resembled much more than just a guy who played one character for the Marvel movies, and I feel like a lot of people have felt that they want to kind of retire that series because he represented not just the character but also what that superhero stands for.
Yep.
Um,
He also played Jackie Robinson. So
go. Yeah,
that's
that
also
was also
true.
very important.
And I'll be one of those people who's honest. Like when I was walking into Black Panther, I didn't know what to expect, and I really didn't have very high hopes for it because I didn't know anything about the character in the first place or the superhero. But after seeing that, and also seeing the person that Chadwick was, I think I'm starting to agree with a lot of people who know that Black Panther 2 is supposed to be coming out in 2022, but I feel like a lot of people don't want to see that actually happen since he won't be able to reprise his role in that.
They
Do you
didn't
guys
art
have any
like
thoughts about that?
they didn't already film it or anything.
No, they haven't.
I thought they would have already filmed something like that, but yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, I think that as difficult as it is, I think like you said, this was much more than just a guy playing a superhero. It actually stood for like a community, and for Marvel to not just cancel it because Chadwick Boseman passed away, I think it's a huge missed opportunity because it's pretty much throwing away this superhero that represents, like I said, this whole community. And I think they can find a way to pivot from this and figure out someone else who can kind of take up those reins. And
I
you know,
saw one post because I also don't want them to stop, discontinue it. But I
Mm-hmm.
saw one post where someone was suggesting that they should somehow make it so that Michael B.
Michael
Jordan's
B. Jordan.
character
oh my god, man,
Okay,
that
becomes
would
Black
be
Panther,
amazing. That would
which
be
would be
amazing.
pretty cool. I think
that would
so.
be awesome. I think that in terms of like maybe a tribute or something like that, I think that would be huge.
Yeah.
But I think that they do have this good opportunity right now to kind of hand this off to the next generation, because it seems like that's what they're doing with all these other Marvel movies right now, right? Where the first generation Marvel heroes, they've been in this for like a decade already, and now they're kind of handing it off to the next generation. Whether it be Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. is out of the universe because he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
He
Wow,
hands it off to Spider
spoilers.
Man. Oh, come on, come on.
If you haven't seen Endgame at this point, seriously, you have no reason to be listening to the Just Now 5incos podcast. That is like your payment to joining this shenanigery. Go
But
ahead, Ben. Continue.
But Iron Man, Captain America hands it off not Bucky, to Anthony Mackie.
Black
Who else?
Widow.
Yeah, Black Widow. I've heard rumors that she's actually handing it off to someone else, in the form of Florence Pugh from what's that movie? Midsommar fame. So I'm actually pretty excited about that because she was really good in that movie.
I
Regardless
think
of how I felt about that movie, she was a great actress in that
I don't
movie.
think I can disconnect the movie from the actors or actresses.
Nah.
So
Oh, from Midsommar because it was that bad.
they'll forever have that taint to it. I'll never be
Uh,
able to separate them. Like some things I can separate from, like Michael Jackson, and you can separate the band from the music and everything. But this is not. That's a bridge too far for Midsommar.
okay.
Well,
Well, I had a thought about Black Panther 2. Maybe this would be an opportunity for them to be progressive and then have, I don't even know how to pronounce her name, Letitia Wright.
Yeah, Letitia, right? Yeah.
Give her a chance to play Black Panther.
Yeah, I think this would be a great opportunity, a perfect time for that, really. As sad as it is for Chadwick Boseman to pass away, I think this would be a wonderful opportunity for that to happen.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's whenever we lose somebody who's not just a huge star, but also a really great human being. Because, I mean, all these tributes typically, a lot of times you hear it's like, oh yeah, so and so, but
yeah.
you
At the
know,
risk of
yeah,
I don't know, sounding like whatever, I'm going to disagree that they should do that in the name of progressiveness. I think they
why?
should do
Because
it if it makes sense, if it's organic and natural.
if
They
they
should
haven't
if
if
they
they
ran.
haven't written the
I'll
script
tell
yet, Stu, what do you think?
I'm gonna. I just told you,
Oh, okay.
Michael B. Jordan. But well, I'll say this: if they do it in the if they ramrod it in the name of progressiveness,
Mm,
it is gonna fail in the theaters. I guarantee.
Hmm.
It's gonna flop. Like I
I,
don't because if you like I'm saying if you do it solely in the name of progress, like if you do it for exactly
just for the
just
sake of
progressive,
saying that
just
we
for the
did that.
yeah
Yeah,
exactly, it's gonna
got
fail.
it. Okay.
I somewhat agree with Stu, but at the same time, I do want to say that uh, going off of what I was saying earlier about like all the other Marvel heroes kind of passing on
Or
the torch.
transitioning.
Yeah, transitioning, passing on the torch. This would be a really good time to do it. Like,
Yeah.
and it would make sense too, where
Yeah, because
Black
she
Panther
was
passed
a
on his
she was a,
sister.
yeah, she was a great actress in that movie, and she's also a really good character in that movie as well. Because it's like instead of it being about power and stuff like that, she focuses a lot about technology and then moving towards that. So I think that would be a kind of like a seamless thing. But Stu, I can see where your point is, where you're coming from, where you don't want it just to be shoehorned in there, like shoved down our throats to say, well, we did it, right? Because
Yeah,
then if
I don't
that's
want
not yeah, so since the I don't think the script has really been fleshed out or written yet, what would you guys like to see, knowing that we don't have a T'Challa anymore?
that. Man,
It's
it's tough. They killed off Michael B. Jordan, which is really tough.
right.
But in the Marvel universe, no one's ever
Yeah,
really
no one's really
dead,
dead.
because they could. I guarantee you, they could probably say, well, due to the fact that Thanos with Tony Stark was able to snap his finger, he brought back so and so from
Yeah,
this particular point of the timeline. He's back, kind of thing. He was in the background fighting. I'm sure they could probably figure out some way, but
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like I would be also kind
yeah.
of disappointed if that's they brought
Yeah,
him back,
it,
but
that would
I
be
get
just
over it.
that would probably just be as unsuccessful as ramrodding the progressive
The
thing down.
okay,
Like,
I am a little disappointed that we are going to have to take like a different detour here because the story was kind of leading up to align with the rise of mutants, X-Men, Fantastic
mm-hmm.
Four, and them incorporating them into the universe, and that would also mean the marriage of X-Men's Storm with Black Panther. So we're not going to get that. I don't know. We might still, depending on who would take up the mantle, but at this point in time, we're not going to get Storm, joining
Oh.
up with Black Panther, which kind of sucks. But
What about you, Stu? What do you think?
you mean Storm like from X Men?
yeah. Because in the
Halle
comics,
Berry is not
Halle-
going to team up.
Fuck! Why?
You know what? I'm mad. All right, we're done. I'm not doing any more movie podcasts. Ben, why? I was so blissful in my ignorance, and then you brought this up. You
Of-
ruined it.
of what
Hey,
we
hey,
now
okay.
are not gonna have.
Okay, number one, there's a new Storm. All right, it's not Halle Berry. And number
Then
two,
why?
Then I'm
okay,
not interested.
hey.
Halle Berry still got it. All right.
Halle Berry still got it. Number two, that also means that Wolverine is not the same. It's not Hugh Jackman. All right, but you know what that does mean? There
Well,
have
Hugh
been lots
Jackman's
and
dead.
lots and
Or, I
lots
mean-
of rumors that there is going to be a new Wolverine, and there are two possible candidates right now. It's either Taron Egerton from Kingsman fame, which I am
Hans
okay.
Gruber.
No, it's not fucking Alan Rickman.
just
It's
kidding.
not.
Can you imagine?
We brought back Alan Rickman's animated corpse.
And then Sirius Snape as Wolverine. Oh, go ahead. What are the two options, Ben? Sorry.
Taron Egerton, right, of Kingsman fame, of Rocketman fame, which I'm completely okay with because I love that guy. And number two, there have been lots of rumors about this one, but possibly Keanu Reeves.
As Wolverine?
Yeah.
Wait, he's older than Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, it's like you're not.
The
I mean, that would
same.
be. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't want
Awesome.
to see Keanu Reeves as Wolverine, but we're going to get like one movie out of it.
Actually, I heard it's going to be Daniel Craig who's going to be playing Wolverine, because that's why he's retiring James Bond this year. He's going to reprise his role as
I want to take on a more serious role.
I want to
But-
fight Ryan Reynolds.
There have been some substantial backings to the Keanu Reeves theory because Marvel has approached Keanu Reeves multiple times to play somebody in the Marvel
Join in the
universe.
fun.
Yeah, to join in the fun. Nobody knows who though, but they've approached him multiple
Punisher.
times.
Yeah.
Hey, that'd be really cool.
That
Punisher.
would be
I would be
pretty dope.
down for that.
God,
I
that
mean,
would
it would
actually
be right
be
up his
pretty
alley.
dope.
But I don't want to take away Stu's time. So, Stu, what about you? What do you think they should do with? What would you like to see them do, knowing that we don't have T'Challa for Black Panther 2?
I have no idea because I'm actually looking up a list of black actors right now, and I just can't see anyone
Denzel Washington.
other than the other names. Like the obvious names are already out because it's not possible. Michael B. Jordan, Anthony Mackie. So I'm trying to see, and like all the other ones are probably like a little too on the older side. So it's like I don't know. Because I feel like it'd have to probably be someone young. Obviously, it'd have to be
How
someone
about
younger.
Daniel Kaluuya? Oh
But
wait, but he's already in the
Yeah,
original movie. Sorry.
yeah,
yeah,
someone
and he
like
was
fairly young, but and maybe not already super established. Um,
Keegan
John
Michael
Boyega.
Key.
John Boyega, even
I
better.
heard that. I have
John
heard that
Boyega.
yeah, who was the stormtrooper in I forgot
Yeah,
his
yeah.
name in the Star Wars
Finn.
movies. Yeah,
Finn.
there we go.
Stormtrooper
Yeah, I
FN
guess.
two
Yeah,
one
I
eight
guess. I
seven.
mean, there you go. Yeah, it would be cool if they didn't kill off. What was the name? War Machine or whatever his name? Not War Machine.
What? Warmonger?
The Anthony. Fuck.
Oh my god, you fucked up everything! You
Fucked up
fucked up
everything.
everything!
Just no, no, no,
Spicy.
no, Ben. Wait, Stu, spell it out.
Wow, this is this is what you wanted to say?
Michael
Just so
B.
you could get
Jordan.
a little
Sorry.
redemption from this? That's all you wanted from this?
Oh boy, oh boy.
What
All
was
right,
his name in
let's
that
not go.
movie?
Yeah.
It wasn't War
But let's
Machine.
not go
That's
down this road too far. But losing Chadwick Boseman has definitely been difficult for the Hollywood community, and we'd be remiss if we didn't mention that. And then also the fact that when was Endgame? What, 3 years ago? 2 years ago?
Endgame was 2019.
2019. So last year, um, they wrapped up this cinematic universe that pretty much spanned a third of all three of our lives, and a big important part of our lives. And so obviously we're very very tied to um, those series of actors, and obviously there, like Ben was mentioning, there will be some type of transition and stuff like that. So yeah, all right, let's go ahead and jump over to our movie of the week this week. I know it's a quick transition, but this week is Mystery Science Theater 3000, the movie. Stu, what do you got for us?
Well, okay. So
Or
I guess
were you expecting Ben to do it?
I should have anticipated this kept falling on my shoulders, but I didn't.
Well, let's
So,
check. Let's check in
but
with Ben. Ben, do
but
you have
no.
something prepared?
Okay. Well, I was gonna riff, but okay.
Uh,
This way, Ben can stay stuff, and then we can start riffing on him. Stu, that's the plan.
We can start scatting and bebopping on
yeah,
him.
there's a guy in space and he has a gumball machine, I think. And I
Attached
think
to a
that's a wiffle
All right,
ball
forget it.
bat?
Forget it. I'm muting Ben.
attached
Stu,
to a barrel
take
of
over.
monkeys. Uh,
Go ahead, Stu.
all right, join Mike, Servo, Crow, and Gypsy on the Satellite of Love as they take their beloved TV show antics from Mystery Science Theater 3000 to the big screen. With all their favorite Mystery Science Theater gags, but with a Hollywood budget. As uh, Professor Forrester subjects them to one of the worst movies of all time called This Island Earth. Will this be the final straw and drive Mike and the gang out of their minds and allow Professor Forrester to assert his dominance over the world, or will it not do that? Find out now as we
Next
talk about it.
week on Dragon Ball Z. I mean, Mystery Science Theater 3000. All right, so I gotta ask, Stu, what made you pick this one? Since this is for That's What I Call Cinco's comedy.
Well-
What made you decide to pick this one?
I'm glad you asked, David.
Oh, good.
One, I love Mystery Science Theater. Two, I hadn't seen this in a while, and I wanted to watch it. And three, I don't have a third thing. That was it.
And three, go to bed and come back to me. Okay.
But it is one that I like. Out of like all the Mystery Science Theater stuff, and it's probably the one I haven't watched more recently because all the other ones are available on like YouTube. So
Yeah, because I was looking for it, and Benflix was down, so I could not consume this way. And then I went on to Amazon Prime and to view it, and it was $3.99 to rent or $4.99 to buy. And I figured if Stu's picking this as one of his favorite comedy movies of all time, I'm just gonna spend the extra dollar and buy it.
Oh, I'm
And
touched.
boy was I,
I'm touched.
And boy was
Where?
I happy. I just build some suspense there. For me, this one definitely sums up a lot of good memories watching some Mystery Science Theater 3000. It also brings back some of the memories of like going with you guys to go see Riff Tracks, especially for my favorite one is still
Samurai Cop?
no. Crap.
Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers, yeah. That is by far my favorite one because there's that scene and then they bring out the monkey instead. I'm just like, come on, man, seriously?
I wanted to see the boobies.
Yeah, no. But yeah, it kind of reminds me a lot about that, and it reminds me almost like if they're in the same living room as you watching the movie, like you would probably make some snarky comments about like some stupid parts of the movie and stuff like that. So for me, easily 8 out of 10. And then if I were to add the nostalgic factor, it'd be a 9 out of 10 because I didn't watch them as many as Stu has, but for me, that's where I would place it. But yeah, so what about for you, Ben? Thoughts on this one?
Well, I'm going to assume, based off of your guys' description, that you both
dear.
are very familiar with Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Wait, are you not at least a little bit familiar?
1 out of 10.
This is literally
Like
the
even
first time
remotely?
I
that's
have ever
impossible.
seen
Oh, for
Mystery
fuck's
Science
sake.
3000. This
Oh,
is literally the first time I've seen it.
That can't be.
You have it. Okay,
How
no.
much younger is Ben than us?
Like 20 years, I guess.
Jeez.
Apparently.
So Stu has invited me to watch Mystery Science Theater 3000, or either that or Riff Tracks. I can't remember. It was one of the two, and he
Several times.
invited me to go see it over in theaters in Ontario one day, and it was on a Wednesday. I remember being very excited for it, and guess what day that was? That was the fucking day I ate shit and tore my ACL and broke my arm.
And so that's why there's this memory that's tied to that movie forever.
You know,
2 out of 10. Actually, 1 out of 10.
Most
I only
people
have one
tear their
ACL left.
most people tear their ACLs by doing a wicked crossover or like a step back.
Hey, it
jump
was pretty
shot.
wicked, all right? It was pretty sick. It was pretty sick. All
Not
right?
riding their
Humble.
stupid little longboard on the UC Irvine campus and tripping over nothing.
Hey,
you can't claim anything else because Stu went to school at that same campus.
Yeah. I think you told me in the past where it happened, and I'm visualizing like where it was. I'm like, there's nothing there.
Hey, I lost a very good lunch that day. Rip in peace.
Maybe
Rip
if
in
you're
peace,
riding
Veggie
an
Girl.
actual skateboard instead of a longboard, things might have been different.
It has 4 wheels. It has a board on it.
Dude, you watch enough Simpsons. How do you not know? Skateboard over longboard.
Skateboard. Right? Yeah,
skateboards are not.
It's a skateboard. A longboard's a skateboard.
Longboard
I will die on this hill
with wheels.
Anyone who
I died on a hill. I almost died on a hill.
Anyone who longboards and thinks they're skateboarding is lying to themselves.
I'm not lying to myself.
People actually believe that. It's only Ben is trying to convince us and pull the wool over our eyes, which is not going to happen.
I'm cool. All right.
So, anyways, really cool. to get back to the point, right. So you're soured on Mystery Science Theater because that's the day you tore your ACL.
Yes, I'm very soured on it.
So what is your rating based on the fact this is the first time you?
Hey! I got other thoughts. All right, I got other thoughts. Let me get my cards. Please respect the cards. Respect the cards. All right.
Did you at least? Were you at least aware of what Mystery Science Theater was?
He's like, how is he talking to this robot?
Who are these robots?
Real nice science guy.
Why is he in a dog toy?
Oh, that's a dog toy?
I think it was. It's like
no, I know it's a bone, but it doesn't. It shows you a very certain part of it, and it could be a very. Looks like a bicep. Not a bicep.
No, I thought we went with the penis because it was more masculine,
and I had veins to it.
If it's a bicep, it needs more veins. Right. Go ahead, Ben.
So yeah, I have never seen Mystery Science Theater 3000 nor Rift Tracks before this. Neither has Letty, and we both went into this. And I gotta say, we were both fucking confused out of our minds. I'm like, who the fuck is this scientist guy? Why are they in a spaceship? Why are they digging through a spaceship? Why is that? Why is he talking to a gumball dispenser? Why is he also talking to a wiffle ball bat thing with eyes on it? Why are they? Why do they have a movie theater inside of this spaceship? And why did they take this intermission to like destroy the Hubble Space Telescope? I don't know. So overall, this movie was fucking confusing as hell. But I gotta say, holy fuck, it was funny as shit. 8 out of 10, solid 8 out of 10. It was, man, like I would be lying if I didn't say that I found it really fucking amusing. Like the whole time, or there are some references to some episodes of Mystery Science Theater 3000, right? Or like
Yeah.
I recognize one of them because just because of how many times I go to the theater and see that, oh hey, Mystery Science Theater is back in theaters with Mono's The Hands of Fate or
Right.
something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a reference to that, right? That was it.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
okay, that was it. Okay, so I found it really charming, the way that they riff on each other and the way that they are able to kind of like plan all this out. Uh, and hopefully we'll go over that in like what our favorite parts of the movie were. But yeah, not knowing anything from the TV show or any of their other projects, I still really fucking enjoyed this movie.
I think the skill in it is the fact that it is planned. Obviously, some of these moments are planned, but it feels so organic when
Yeah.
when it's happening.
Yep.
So actually, I didn't ask Stu, but Stu, what's your rating for this one? Since this one seems so near and dear to your heart.
So, so I think I had seen this one before I really started watching a lot of the TV show, a lot of the series episodes. So this definitely was. It used to be like my one of my like favorite Mystery Science theaters, but that was, uh, I think, it has been surpassed by like some of the TV show episodes. That's not to say I didn't like this one. I definitely give this one like a 9, or 9.5, based on like where it ranks in my favorite Mystery Science theaters. Because really, this is really just a Mystery Science Theater episode that was released in theaters. That's really what it
Correct.
was. So
Yeah.
there was nothing other than like the kind of bigger budget for like a little bit better set pieces and stuff. And probably I don't know how much money of it went into like the rights to use the movie, because that's, I think that was one of the things, one of the challenges with the TV show was trying to get the rights to the movie to be able to show it and riff on it.
Mm-hmm.
So that, yeah, I know that was one of the challenges during the show's production, but yeah, it's definitely up there for me. There are, I think, some of the episodes that surpassed it for me were things like, if you ever want to watch another episode, get more into Mystery Science Theater, some of the best ones I could recommend, you can find them on YouTube, would be Space Mutiny and The Final Sacrifice. Those are like the two, probably like two of the best ones I think ever made for Mystery Science Theater. But I digress. This was definitely a good time for me. I got to some of the jokes I remembered, and I was excited to hear them do it again. And then some of my like other ones I completely forgot, which we can get into later.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and if you were piqued by this and you saw the movie and you wanted to know where else you can get it, they are actually a lot of the episodes are available on YouTube on their official account, on their YouTube account, for you to be able to view. As well as, I think it'd be remiss if we didn't mention that, all those TV shows that are like, oh, magician reacts to this, magic act, or this, professional
right.
singer reacts to the, this is the genesis of all of that, right?
Yeah,
Ridiculosity, all these shows that don't have to come up with their own content pretty much came from like
yeah.
this, right? I
Just
don't
like
know anything else that's earlier than this that literally takes somebody else's existing IP
hmm
and then turns it into something else where they don't even need to generate their own content. They're like, oh, we're using this as our basis. It's like the original mixtape, pretty much. right? Or the the original remix. It
Mm-hmm.
seems like for TV shows. So, all right. I know that we're running a little bit short on time, so we'll go ahead and jump into our favorite moments. Since this was your favorite movie, the movie you picked, I'll let you go first.
Okay. So one of the moments I was eager to see again because I had remembered the joke they made was towards the beginning when the the hunky scientist guy is like flying into the base where that like the weenie guy is, um, and just like the just all the jokes they made about like like how that kind of dorky guy like was looking up to that science to the main character to that
Oh, like the Casablanca type moment where he's just still hanging on the stairwell.
yeah. It just and just like the whole all the jokes they made about like how they appeared on screen together. Um, uh, Mainly like when he's like, oh, actually I can't really pick one. There's all kinds, but one one specific one that I had forgotten about. So there's this kind of recurring theme throughout the movie and the movie This Island Earth and also Mystery Science Theater the movie, where like the two main characters, the guy and the girl, they had apparently had known each other before, but she doesn't remember him and all that stuff. And that kind of comes up a couple times throughout the movie. And then towards the end, there's like a shot where it only shows like the dude's like lower half of his body. I think Mike says like, "Do you remember me now?" Or I just started laughing because like I don't think that ever would have registered to me as a kid because like it's just showing like his his groin
Lower half.
basically. So that was like probably like my new favorite moment.
What about for you, Ben? Favorite moment?
There were in the movie there wasn't too many reoccurring jokes, but my one of them kind of stood out to me just because I don't know. I think there was a visual aspect to it, and they just held on to that joke for so long that it was towards the beginning of the movie. And honestly, I was kind of confused by the plot at the beginning. I wasn't really sure what was going on, but there was a
Oh,
scene
good,
where
because it was confusing for everybody.
okay, good. Well, they're at some lab, and they're inserting this giant metal like
Oh,
rectangle into this other thing, and it did look like my first thought was like, wow, that looks like a fucking like Pop Tart going into a toaster or something. And their whole joke throughout that like however minute segment was, like it's a fucking Eggo waffle or something, right? I think it was like
but you burned my breakfast.
that was like the secret government ego project or something. And they just kept going with it. Like it would cut back to another scene, and then it would cut back to that stupid like toaster strudel looking thing, and it was like contact Dr. Jemima, and then like like when they're lowering it into it, and then it starts making all those sparks, and then some I don't know who, but someone like yells out, "Yeah, start warming up the syrup." That was a good one. Now one of the best throwaway jokes or just one-liners, one that just kind of stuck there. This kind of goes with their whole, being prepared and just like preparing these jokes. And it was when they first got to that planet. I don't even know what the fucking planet was called.
I forgot what it was called.
But the guy who's
Uh,
piloting the ship says, "All right, switch to normal view." And then like it starts playing this very ominous music, and all three of them start chanting at the same time, "Normal
Oh yeah.
view," along with the music that was
Normal
playing. Yeah,
view.
they were
oh,
like singing along
Metaluna.
with it.
Metaluna.
Metaluna,
Okay.
yeah. And they just all started singing along with the music that was going on in the background. Normal view. you know, it really highlighted their ability to work with each other, their chemistry. So that kind of really sold me on the movie.
For me, my favorite one was when they bring, I forgot the name, Meacham and the other girl into that spaceship, and they meet the like the supreme leader, I guess.
Hmm.
I felt like that scene was really really quick, and then they all of a sudden they go from like meeting them and then not landing, and then all of a sudden they're escaping. I was like, I literally blinked for a second and went to go turn around to go do something and came back and I was like, wait, how did this happen? But I remember that one scene because he walks in and he says, "We're going to relocate," and then Meacham responds and goes, "Relocation to where?" And then the guy says, "To your Earth." And then the Exeter goes, "Oh, it's a peaceful relocation." And then Crow responds, "After the genocide, of course." I was I was like, it's almost like they purposely made that pause right after that for somebody to plug
What a
something like
joke.
that in. I don't know, I was just like sitting here, just like laughing to myself watching this movie. And then and then the beginning when they show when the movie opens and it they're trying to set the scene, and he goes, "When in California, be sure to visit beautiful," and then it says Washington D.C. and he goes,
uh,
uh,
that actually happens. They do that. Like that's not the only time they've done that in a movie where like
yeah.
it's like the scene's like obviously like there's one I think there's one episode where like the scene is obviously like Los Angeles, but like the movie is supposed to be set somewhere else.
Mm.
So they do like a similar gag there.
Oh, it's because they're always like talking about like at the very beginning, it's like shot in Technicolor, also on location in blah blah blah, right? So
Right.
they're kind of like joking about that, how every movie is shot in California, even though it's
Yeah. Even though like
not.
they even though like the setting they're trying to say like setting is like you know
Denver,
in the
Colorado.
Arctic, but it's still
Yeah.
it's like it shows Los
When in
Angeles.
California, be sure to visit beautiful. Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and then obviously there's always that gag at the very end where they're always riffing on the credits.
Yep.
I think it was that I didn't see Mystery Science Theater when it was still on television. I think I maybe caught maybe one or two episodes when it was still on television. Television,
Hmm.
um, but then that kind of was the reason why I always felt like I wanted to stay behind and watch credits, because I would sometimes just look for interesting names that people could make fun of. Like I forgot which one it was, but she said Axon Jackson.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty
Yeah.
funny. Like I don't know why, but I know that's really dumb, but I still always laugh
Yeah.
every single time when that comes up. But
Yeah.
any other favorite moment? Oh, go ahead.
I don't think Action Jackson will ever not be funny. So
That's true. Anything that says Jackson at the end, Michael Action Jackson or
yeah.
whatever it was on there. But I think it was like a girl's name, right? It was like Janet,
Yeah, it was like a yeah.
Jennifer, or something like that. Jennifer Jackson, like Jennifer Action Jackson. Um, but yeah, any other moments, guys, before we go ahead and wrap this one up?
Oh yeah, now I remember one of the other moments I really liked one that stuck out in my head and I was excited to see again was the when Meacham and I think her name was Ruth
Mm-hmm.
show up to the house for the first time and they're like standing there and in the background there's a guy walking who just starts walking from like the back of the shot to the front of the shot inexplicably.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
I think it's Servo he just starts making car noises like it's just I don't know why it seemed to match so well with how like the pace of his walking. So that was one of my other favorite moments. There's a lot of
yeah.
favorite moments in this movie. So
I have a question. So I know that recently, well, not recently, but kind of recently, they started up Mystery Science Theater 3000 on Netflix.
yes,
How does that kind of hold up to the old ones?
so I would say they're not as good
Hmm.
as the original ones. But that's not to say that they're not bad. I mean,
Hmm.
that's not to say that they're bad. Um, there are like a couple. There's like I think I don't know how many episodes they have, but there's a couple of movies in there they do that are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But I think as a whole, it means and it's not as good.
Okay.
I think one of the problems with um, their new take on Mystery Science Theater is that their jokes sometimes I think they try to go for quantity over quality because sometimes they'll say their thing like really fast and it's like just to like cram it in was like and it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
even like really funny so I was like you could have done better than that I think so
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, because it definitely felt like they were trying to almost like forcing it. They're
yeah
just like, we know it has to be funny. All right, there's a break here. Say something.
right.
And they were really kind of just trying to like cram in jokes and stuff like that. So it didn't feel as organic as if it was like, oh, these guys are all hanging out in the theater together watching a really bad movie.
Right.
And they've tried to salvage it as much as possible, right? Patton Oswalt's tied into this one.
Yeah.
Felicia's Days is also tied to
Yeah.
this.
I think it
Um,
has to do with the writing. Whoever's involved in the writing of it. And I think one of the other things too, just to give you some Mystery Science Theater lore here, the show was actually created, and the original main guy in the show was Joel Hodgson, which he created the show, and he was like the main guy. And at some point, he decided, I don't know why he decided to leave the show. I don't know if he's tired of doing it. And so the head writer at the time became, who was Mike Nelson. He became the main guy on the show. And then, and in my opinion, I think he's actually the better riffer than the creator was. And so when they came back to do the Netflix one, because it was Joel Hodgson's show, like he was the one in charge, and I don't think they involved Mike Nelson in it. So I think that's one of the reasons why it suffered.
yeah, it definitely fell a little bit flat. I mean, some of the antics are in there and stuff like that, but it didn't have that same feeling as the original ones did. And I think Stu nailed it on the head for that one.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, let's go ahead and wrap this one up. Before we go ahead and do that, we need to talk about the movie that we are picking for next week, and I think I am up for That's What I Call Cinco's Comedy. There are a couple of choices, but I think I'm going to end up deciding on The Naked Gun.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice.
There we go. There we go.
So,
finally, David picks a good one.
oh, what was that? Okay, let's go with
Nope, it's decided. Okay, tune in next week. Pick your ranking match. Bye.
all right. Yeah, so next week, tune in next week and hang out with us when we're reviewing The Naked Gun, as well as season 3, episode 19 of Street Sharks. The countdown begins.
We're
That
so
is
close.
number 9
So close.
left. Yep, so close. And then we can really tell everybody how we feel about Street Sharks after that, because we finished it. But before we go ahead and do that, definitely make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube. Make sure to follow us on SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts, and make sure you're getting all the doses of Cinco's content, as well as follow us on Twitch. Hit that bell icon so you know every single time that we are streaming. Apparently, sometimes that doesn't work, as it did on Saturday. I found out like 20 minutes before I was about to be finished that some people were getting notifications that we were live. But you can catch us on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesdays are for Ben. Wednesdays are Stu's days. Thursday is the group stream, and on Saturday mornings I've been streaming, or Sunday morning. You'll never know. You'll have to tune in. And find
Wow.
out.
Wow.
Well, you got to keep some surprises in there. So if you guys have any suggestions, what?
Only 19 more followers till we get that.
I know we're at 31. We're on the march to affiliate. And we would love to see all of you guys follow us and subscribe on YouTube as well, because you'll get more of that original content that you guys love so much. But yeah, let us know what you guys think, what you guys would like to see us review as far as movies go, or games, because it seems like coronavirus is starting to kind of get a little bit under control. We can kind of start living with it a little bit and getting back to a little bit more of our normal lives. So maybe we might start seeing some theater stuff in a couple weeks or a couple months. But yep, as always, I have been your host, David.
I'm Stuart.
And I'm Ben.
Don't forget to tip your Reiki masters, guys. So wash your hands, stay safe out there, and we will check you guys on another time. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.